Skip, you know what? I'm going to say he had 15, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, 7 turnovers.
Oof.
Yeah.
Kind of low on the turnovers.
Because if you look at his numbers, Skip, 12 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds with 6 turnovers so far, shooting 35%. Jenny said he was a pedestrian, 19% for 3. I don't even know if that's pedestrian. I don't even know. I don't even know what they call that.
I've actually got him at 9%.
9%?
I think so. I don't know. Isn't he 1 for 11? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Maybe I'm being generous.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah, that's what Skip was thinking. You being very generous, talking about pedestrian, 19. I don't think he only made 1.
Yeah.
But look, Skip, I'm not expecting all of a sudden that they're going to wake up today like, okay, it's going to click. Even though they're playing San Antonio, I think this game is going to be closer than a game that, when you look at the talent level, the Lakers should probably win going away, but probably going to struggle. They'll probably win by 6 or less, considering that it is a work in progress. Russell is, Skip, I mean, we've all done this, bought something that we didn't need, and then like, yeah, I figured out once I get it home. And then once you get it home, like, why the hell did I buy that? And that's, I think, what they got. Look, they didn't really need Russell. Something else would have been better. Buddy Hield would have fit better.
He would have.
And then you get it home, you're like, we'll make it work. And then you're like, damn, I don't know, this thing will be harder than what we originally thought it was going to be.
Yep.
So, and I think that's where they are right now. But like I said, I'm not going to really evaluate them until at least the All-Star break, and then I'll see, because I need at least 30 games to see.
Yep.
Because the other night, you mentioned it, Bron turned over a lot of it to Russ. Does he continue to turn it over to Russ, or will he take some of it back? I just think, and that's the dilemma. That's the catch-22 that they're in, Skip.
Yep.
How do we maximize Russ? Because you can't maximize him if you take the ball out of his hands. Because we've seen him with the ball in his hands far longer than we've seen him without it. And we know what he is with the ball in his hand. But can he play without the ball, playing alongside AD and LeBron? And can he be efficient and effective enough to play with the ball in his hand alongside those same 2 guys? So that's where they are right now, Skip. And LeBron is trying to figure it out. He's like, okay, take the ball. But damn, it's like, you're still inefficient. You're still ineffective. You're still turning it over. I take the ball. You're ineffective. Turn it over. I give you the ball. You're effective and turn it over. So I don't know what the hell we're going to do. But it's trial and error. You keep working at it in practice. You get in the game and you try to do it. But Russ is going to have to understand, Skip, he can't just continue to go 1-on-4. He gets a lot of charging calls. He gets a lot of just like, people going to reach in, and when you try to go 1-on-4, and now all of a sudden it's a turnover. So I just think he just needs to slow down if he can, which I don't believe he can, Skip, because he only knows 1 speed.
Yep.
So they got their work cut out for him. Now, I can assure you, Bron is saying this is a lot more difficult to himself. He probably won't ever say this publicly, but I think he's thinking to himself, this thing is a lot more difficult than I previously thought.
I agree. All of which is why, for me, the best show on TV right now is Russell Westbrook Unleashed, because LeBron has unleashed him. And the other night against Memphis on Sunday night at home, LeBron allowed Russell Westbrook to take over the game and have the highest usage rate on the team. And next on the list was Carmelo. Wow, that's interesting. And he saved the day and the night, right?
Yep.
With his hot jump shooting.
28, well, I think he was 6 of 8 from 3.
He was 6 of 8 from 3. And next on the list was AD in usage rate. And 4th on the list was the guy who used to be the king of L.A., LeBron James. And he just saying, here, I handed you the keys to the kingdom. I wanted you to be our point guard. Now do it. Figure it out.
Right.
They did start picking and rolling a little bit later in the game, and it started to look a little bit more of a semblance of some plan on offense. But Russ, as they keep telling Russ to be Russ, you just got to be Russ. Well, Russ only knows 1,000 miles an hour.
Right.
And now what do we have so far? He's averaging 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. So I'm going to say he has a big high usage night tonight against a team. Remember, my Spurs are not my Spurs anymore. They're harder for me to root for because they went from 3 Hall of Famers to 0 All-Stars. DeMar DeRozan, who's there obviously last couple of years, is in Chicago.
And looking really good.
He's looking really good. And Rudy Gay is hurt right now, but he's in Utah. And Patty Mills is looking really good up in Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
They're all gone. So it's a bunch of kids. It's Keldon Johnson, and it's Derek White, and it's DeJounte Murray, and it's Lonnie Walker. And they're all pretty good.
Pretty good, right.
And they're 1-2 because they beat Orlando on opening night. And that's all they got to show for it. And so, again, they're 5-point dogs at home to the Lakers. So I think it's a great spot for Russ to be Russ and to go off. And I'm going to go high. I'm going to go 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists with 8 turnovers. Because he's second in the league in turnovers right now, and I think after tonight he will be leading the league in turnovers. But look at the Westbrook shooting. He's 35% from the floor, which is 15 of 43. That's hard to overcome.
Yeah.
It's just hard.
It is.
1 of 11 from 3, as we just spoke of, and 5 of 12 from the free throw line. Yeah, that's 42%. So that won't work. Of the 106 qualified free throw shooters so far, he's 105th. Only to Draymond is worse, because Draymond is now 5 of 15. He's 5 of 12 as Russ.
Right.
Okay? So it's like wrong. So when I've watched the 3 games, I will see flashes of greatness from Russ because he's as athletic as anyone this side of Derrick Rose at the point guard position, and he still is.
Yes.
And he can still get up and down the floor.
Right.
He can fly.
Yeah.
And yet the turnovers are horrendous to watch because he just plays completely out of control. What are we up to? 14 years in the league? Is that what?
Yeah,
just the
I think
14th year?
he's 14.
Okay, and he still just plays one speed out of control.
Yes.
There's no finesse to it. There's no feel for the game to
Right,
me.
right.
Every once in a while he comes up with an assist where you say, oh, that worked.
Right.
Because he attacked and he drew so much of the defense that it was an easy assist to somebody for a dunk or a layup, right? Okay. So if we, for our faithful viewers who might have been watching something else on Sunday night or didn't have the package because it was just on local TV, I
Right.
believe, the Memphis game. So could we see, first of all, Russ's turnovers? He had 9 turnovers. If we could just see them in order. This to give you a flavor for what's going on. Yikes, that was a bad idea. And then here we go again. Russ, it's just wild, out of control. Oh, that was off LeBron, not LeBron's fault. Out of control. Whoops. This is vintage, you know. This is a guy in his 14th year, and he just still plays the same way. Ooh.
I mean,
If I tried any one of these passes in high school, I would have been yanked immediately.
yeah. I mean,
Right?
if he's not Russell Westbrook, he's getting yanked if he tries any of those passes. He's not Russell
Anywhere
Westbrook.
else. No, that is true. Shaking his head. Okay, now let's try to balance that off with he missed 10 shots on Sunday night against Memphis. Remember, it's a Memphis without Dylan Brooks, who's some people thought at the end of the year he was their best player last year. He's at least their second
best
best.
player.
So you're up against a team that is without one of its 2 young stars, right?
Maybe third behind Jaren Jackson.
Okay, you could make that case. So he missed 10 shots. Could we see what they look like? Because this is what you're up against if you're LeBron James. This is what LeBron has to watch. I don't know. Was that
a shot or a
I don't
turnover?
know. Good question. That was just a bad idea because it's going to get blocked. Clang. No. Russ?
What?
I don't know what that was, but it was an air ball. Russ. Ooh, that was a Westbrook. Russ? No.
Them things ain't even close, though.
Not close. No. Russ?
Out
Air ball, Westbrook.
from 12?
From 12 feet, air ball. And then that was the showstopper. He shoots a driving left-handed something
right.
so hard off the glass that it was Melo's night, so it caroms off the glass, misses the rim long, and goes right to Carmelo. And trust me, it was not a pass.
No, it was not.
For a putback.
Right, yeah.
It was a crucial play in the game.
Right.
Okay, so that's what you're up against. Yet in the end, he had the highest usage rate, and you did manage to win the game.
Right.
In large part, LeBron has been hot-handed so far from 3. That has helped offset Westbrook.
Yes.
And Carmelo making 6 of 8 and just making jumper after jumper also helped put you over the top.
Yeah, but am I going to count on Melo going 6 or 8 or having a hot hand? I think it was, 10 or 16 from the floor. I mean, I can't count on that every night. I need the turnovers. They turn the ball over, Skip. What's even more surprising than Russell's turnovers is that they're getting dominated in the paint. Skip, Memphis, they don't have Valanciunas. And we just saw Valanciunas go 22 and 23 last night.
He did.
We saw the Warriors beat them up in the paint. Warriors are a small team.
Yeah.
The other night, Phoenix, Come on. The Lakers getting out rebounded, getting beat up in the paint. That's even more surprising than Russ turnovers because we knew Russ was going to turn the ball over. I penciled him in for like, Skip, he's going to give you 4 or 5 a game. That's what he is. I mean, to say Russ is going to get average 2 to 3 turnovers, like he's going to be a low turnover guy like a Chris Paul, that ain't happening. So he's going to be probably 5 or more for the season.
Once again, as we talked about before the season started, he has led this league in turnovers 4 times and been second 4 times. That's 8 years of high turnovers.
Yes. So that's probably not going to change this year. You would like to see it, but I don't believe it's going to change this year because, Skip, at some point in time, we got to say, okay, the guy's who he is. And he's a guy that, like, puts his head down and, like, I'm going to the rim. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to the rim on this occasion. And more times than not, what I've noticed through 3 games, the officials are not bailing you out this year. Skip, all them little tickets, Skip, you remember they used to get the little bump call, the instant contact? The officials looking at you like, what? You better get back on defense. They about to get a layup on the other end. I watched it last night. Dame is struggling. I mean, we see a lot of guys struggling, Skip.
And James Harden.
The guys that used to get those little contact.
Can't get to the free throw line.
They can't get to the free throw line, don't see the ball go in, so they're hadn't gotten in a rhythm yet. So, Russ, like I said, Skip, you said 5 points. It's gonna be 5 points or less because they're gonna struggle because the turnovers will keep a team in the ball game. They get out to a 12-point lead and then they come get 3 turnovers back to back, and next thing you know, a 12-point lead all of a sudden is down to 4.
So I'm going to restate my position on LeBron James one more time. I still believe he's the best passer in basketball. I still believe he belongs at point guard for the Lakers because he's as close to Magic Johnson as you can get.
Right.
And he was born to play point guard, and you could argue he was born to play point guard in Hollywood for the Lakers. And yet the irony here is his flip side, it's almost like his dark side is Russell Westbrook, like out of a horror movie. It's his alter ego side is now at point guard that should be his position.
Right.
And you got to live with the horror movie that is Russell Westbrook.
Right.
Because LeBron, it's got to be eating him up. It almost makes me feel sorry for LeBron James, but I can't go there because he signed off on this. He was the one who wanted it.
Yes.
And I do believe he took it as a challenge to say, watch this, KD. I know you rejected him, and you rejected him, Kawhi, and you, Paul George, and you, James Harden. You all rejected him. And I'm going to go win with him. I'm going to show you. And again, we got 82 games, so we're only 3 in, 4 tonight. And it's going to take a long time. I don't think you'll ever figure this out. But if he does, LeBron knows that would be his crowning, so to speak, achievement.
I agree with you, Skip. I don't feel bad because you welcome this opportunity. It reminds me, Skip, I went out on a date with a girl once, and the place is not known for meatloaf, but they had it on the menu. Oh, I like meatloaf. I said, but this is not a place that's known for meatloaf.
Okay.
Why would you get it? She got it.
Well, she wanted it.
And guess what?
Well,
it's terrible. I say, it serves you right. And I shouldn't make you pay for it because I ask you not to get it for the simple fact this place isn't known for that. If I go to a restaurant, Skip, I'm going to get what they're known for. I'm not going to expecting a burger from KFC or from Popeyes. They're known for chicken. So why would you get something that's really off menu? Why would you do that? When you look at LeBron.
By the way, was that your first and last date with her?
Skip, I mean, look, I pay for it. The thing is that normally, from what I've been hearing, women says, like, when you go out on a date for the first time, you only get what you know you can pay for in case the guy's a jerk and make you pay for the meal. Because I just read a story in China, Skip, Japan, on a blind date, she bought 23 of her family members. And the guy left. The guy's like, I ain't paying for all y'all. It was supposed to be me and you. He agreed to pay for the date, but she bought 23 of her family members.
To be paid for?
To be paid for. $3,100. He said, no, I ain't going to do that. But, Skip, the fact of the matter is that LeBron signed off on this. What you and I talked about.
By the way, this date.
Yeah.
Oh, this was recent.
No, it wasn't recent.
I thought you took her to Mastro's in Beverly Hills.
No.
She ordered meatloaf. No. Okay.
No, Mastro, Mastro's reserved for the high-end clients.
I don't think Mastro's has meatloaf on them.
They don't have meat. They don't have meatloaf for the.
First of all, who orders meatloaf?
Thank you, Jenny. Who orders meatloaf?
But then again,
it's hamburger with ketchup that's baked on the top of it. That's what meatloaf is.
That's none of your business what she wants to order on the date, Shannon.
Oh, well.
You sound kind of intense to date. making
make her
these
remember.
menu accusations.
No, but Jenny, I mean, if you don't have a good time, you didn't like the meal. I mean, that's so now you're like, well, maybe it was him. No, let's just get something that's going, get a salad.
I learn something new every day around you. Just the dating experts over there. Oh, good stuff. Guys,
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.